is Physics 116. It's the third quarter of the General Physics class. Summer, okay? Summer's a little different. I'm not used to teaching in the summer. You may not be used to coming to school in the summer. So I'll tell you my first thing is I left my keys at home. Okay, so I had to. This is why the door is propped open. That's okay. I know a lot of people here. I got them to open the door, but so that's what's going on there. Normally, well, I should have my keys with me. Okay? But anyway. We're here for 3.5 hours. That's a long time, okay? Okay, I say I normally don't teach summer classes, but I have done it 2 or 3 times, okay? And there are a few things we need to know, okay? One is, I still got to teach the same material as a normal 116 class. A normal 116 class would be 11 or 12 weeks in a quarter, and we're doing this in 7, okay? I've still got to do the same number of labs, okay? So, you know, in the regular quarter, you often have a time to come in and get presented with, in physics, sometimes you have to think about it, okay? Sometimes you get presented with something and you go, what? You know, that doesn't, you know, you gotta look at it a few times and play around with it and that sort of thing. And you're gonna have less time to do that. Okay, so it's especially important in summer to stay on top of things. The other thing is that these 3-hour sessions will feel like a bit of an endurance, okay? Where there's a lot to do, and then we stop and take a break, and then we do a lot more, okay? For example, tonight, okay, I do need to sort of go over my syllabus and the structure of the class and how things are going to be done. I will try and be quick about that and keep that into under an hour. We'll take a break, then we'll come back and we'll start our first topic, okay? And then I hope to do a problem in class, okay, to practice with it, and by then it'll be 9 o'clock, which is still a long time away, okay? Human bodies can only take so much sitting, okay? So to alleviate that, we will take breaks like either on the hour, or we will be doing labs, in which case it will be, you can just, if you need to go out of the room or come back or that sort of thing, that's fine. The other thing you might be thinking is this class starts at 5:30 and it ends at 9, and you may be coming straight from work and you may be hungry. I don't mind some eating in class, okay? This is, anyway. So, I'm getting live stream, but then I guess it's recorded. But yeah, I don't mind if you come in here and you eat something like a little bit of a snack or something, okay? I know that the labs say don't eat. That's a general policy throughout the whole thing. However, most of what they're thinking about is things like biology labs and chemistry labs where there are poisons or icky stuff, okay? And we don't really have a lot of that, okay, except this room is a botany room. Anyway, don't like bring in a barbecue and spread it out and eat or something like that, but if you want to eat a sandwich or something, I'm okay. Okay, or if you need to bring in something to drink, that's okay. Now? Any questions before I get started? Okay, cool. All right, so 116 is the third quarter of the series. What we're going to study oscillating motions, waves, okay? Then we'll take, oscillating motions are single things that are moving back and forth, okay? We'll study a few different examples and learn, how to classify different types of oscillating motions and how to describe them and work with them. In some way, it'll feel, you learned some equations of motion in Physics 114 for things that we're dealing with a constant acceleration, okay? And that constant acceleration and circular motion were the only two types of motions you dealt with. Yeah? Right? I mean, you might have said, oh, there are other motions out there, but you didn't really dig into them. Got an idea why? Lots of things can move in crazy ways. Want to describe the path of that ball? It was a parabola, and then what? It stopped, but before it stopped, yeah? How did it move? There were some, it's still going. Yeah? General motion is hard, right? I mean, when you go, it did some parabolic stuff, and then it hit some things in the corner, and it bounced around, and there's a lot of weird motion around, right? If you think about it, if I'm going to describe a lot of motion, most of it I can't do, okay? Because it just sort of bounces around in these crazy ways, okay? However, constant acceleration, or constant velocity, which is a special case of constant acceleration, is pretty simple. So we did that one, right? Because it's simple. Right? Circular motion is also pretty simple. I know it seems kind of hard and counterintuitive, but still, compared to describing things bouncing around in these weird ways, it was pretty simple. Okay, so there aren't a lot of motions that are really simple. Okay, one of the other ones we can study is oscillating motions. Okay, and so that's what we're going to do. Oh, wrong class? Oh, okay, cool. Motion's complicated. You go in the wrong room, you bounce around, you come out. Yeah, it's hard to describe. All right, so we'll do that. Okay. Then we'll look at wave motion. Wave motion is kind of weird. It's got things that are oscillating. Okay, so if you think of like a motion of a wave in the water or waves on string, there are things that are bouncing back and forth. But instead of a single object that's bouncing back and forth, you have a collection of objects that are bouncing back and forth in a pattern. Okay, so we'll study how that pattern works and how that motion works. Some of it will look like oscillating motion. Some of it will look a little different. Okay, so we'll study how the waves behave. We will then study how, so we'll do waves in like water, we'll do sound waves, we'll do electromagnetic waves and light. Okay, and we'll see the connections, that they have similar types of behavior. Then we will start studying light in more detail. We will look at its wave behavior, but then we'll also look at optics. We'll look at how light behaves with mirrors and lenses and objects and that sort of thing. Look at what forms images and that sort of thing. We'll look at optical devices like telescopes and microscopes. We'll look at corrective lenses, okay, and understand why they work, how to describe them, that sort of thing. Then, after we've done a lot of talking about waves, okay, and wave behavior, we'll then do a section in modern physics. We'll look at some surprises that came along with understanding of light, okay, which led to quantum physics. And so we'll look at what those are and why they were a big deal, okay, and what they mean. And then we'll look, once we get the language about how to talk about that, we'll then look at atomic physics, okay, which will describe the behavior of the electrons in an atom using physics, okay, using circular motion and waves and that sort of thing. Okay, so we'll look at that. And we'll then also do a little section on atomic physics, okay, and what's going on in the nucleus and that sort of thing. And that'll be it. Questions about the topics? Let's see. I want to bring up a copy of the syllabus. I have it posted on Canvas. In the Canvas class, you should be able to get to. Let's see if this works. Okay. Good. Okay. So there's a copy of the syllabus on paper. There's a copy of the syllabus in Canvas. I literally copied and pasted it there. So they should be identical. Only the links work, okay, on this one. I've got contact information. I'm a part-time instructor, okay, so I don't have an office. Okay. But I'm totally happy to meet up with you, okay? It turns out that I'm going to be here working on some other projects at 3 o'clock on the days where the classes meet, okay? So it's not too hard. There will be some people who cannot make that, and I've excluded them, okay? I don't, and you're stuck in traffic, and you go, I'll just give Brian a call to let him know that I'm going to be late. Don't bother, okay? Just go ahead and drive, get here when you can. I'm not going to get your message because there's no phone for me to pick up. Good? Cool. The classroom is weird. Okay. The time is always 5:30 to 9, but on Monday we're in this room, and on Tuesday and Thursday we're in B139, the room that's just right over there. Okay. There's another class with similar stuff. Okay, Physics 123, which is the third quarter of the calculus-based engineering physics, which overlaps a lot with this class, is over there. So we're sharing lab equipment and that sort of thing. Okay, so